Hi everyone and welcome to the Baby Sleep Magic podcast. My name is Chantal Murphy and today's episode is a recording from a recent YouTube video that I've done filmed about self-settling. So if you do find this information valuable, please feel free to share it with a friend or another mum. Enjoy the podcast. I'm going to talk a little bit today about self-settling and linking sleep cycles. This is a huge topic, something I see a lot with all my clients, something that is extremely common in babies, and on a positive is all fixable. So first of all, what we need to do is look at how your baby is falling asleep to begin with. And typically what your night might look like if your baby doesn't know how to self-settle might be something like, they go to bed quite well between 6 and 7, they wake up at around 10 for a feed, they wake up at around midnight for a feed, and then generally from midnight through till 4 or 5 a.m, they're up quite frequently, and then they're ready to start their day quite early. And then generally what you'll experience through the day is catnapping, so anywhere between 20 minutes to 45 minutes through the day. And this is very typical of a baby that doesn't know how to self-settle. And what happens is they will fall asleep, whether it's on the breast, on the bottle, being held, being rocked, and then they go in their own environment. And what happens is they wake up in their own environment 20 minutes later, 40 minutes later, in cases a couple of hours later, and they're quite distressed and alarmed because how they remember falling asleep, they're in a different environment. They're now somewhere else alone. And it's very similar to us falling asleep on the lounge on a Saturday night and waking up next door. We would be quite distressed as to how that happened. And babies are the same. They will wake up quite distressed because they don't know how they got there and they don't really know what to do next. They don't know how to put themselves to sleep. So what they will require is for you to recreate what you did 20 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, to enable them to go back to sleep. So my first couple of tips when it comes to starting to teach them how to self-settle is to get them to, don't feed them to sleep. Or rock them to sleep. So especially at night time when you're doing that 10 p.m. feed or that 1 a.m. feed, is to make sure that when they go back into their cot or bassinet, they're slightly awake. So, feed them. And if they do fall asleep, wake them up a little bit. Wake them up, change their nappy if you need to, give them a quick cuddle, swaddle them back up, pop them back in their cot or bassinet, but just make sure they're slightly awake. A well-fed bub really shouldn't fight you when it comes to going to bed. They hopefully should just drift off. And if they don't, you can certainly help them and assist them with a little bit of shushing or a little bit of rocking the bassinet or a little bit of patting their bottom, and just to help them drift off. And that will definitely help with the self-settling process. And practice makes perfect. So the more they can do that through the night, the better things will get through the day. So I hope those few tips help and gives you a bit of an understanding of why they might be doing what they're doing. Thanks for listening, and for any additional tips head over to my Instagram page at Baby Sleep Magic and just refer to the highlight guys. On there you'll find mini videos on darkroom, white noise, catnapping, self-settling, naps on the go, plenty of other stuff there as well to have a look at. So thanks again and I'll see you next week.